Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
We're facing new disruptions to our supplies.
There's no relief in sight.
They're paying a whole lot more.
And shortages will persist well into next year.
Please state your name, spelling your last name for the record.
Kyle Rittenhouse. No, I never wanted to shoot Mr. Rosenbaum.
As the president moves to the tomb of the unknown soldier to place the wreath.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
And welcome in on this 11th day of the 11th month. It is Veterans Day. We salute our veterans, many of whom listen to this program, and we thank you for that. You know, I thought, what could I say on this Veterans Day? And I found someone who said it much, much better. She's been making the news of late. Winsome Sears, who is the new lieutenant governor of the state of Virginia, the lieutenant governor-elect, I should say. She was on Fox News earlier today, and they asked her to share her thoughts as she and her husband are both Marine veterans.
We have a Constitution, but if you don't have a good defense force to defend your country, then the Constitution isn't going to matter. Because if you're overrun by the enemy simply rips up our Constitution, and that's it. The Marine Corps saved me, literally, because when my grandmother died, I just was floundering. She was my world, my paternal grandmother, and I was supposed to go to college that August, but she died that July, and I needed a reason to live. And the Marine Corps did that for me. It gave me the discipline that I needed to continue. And then it taught me so much about leadership. You have to earn leadership. As you've heard, maybe that if you are thinking you're the leader but nobody's following you, then you're just taking a walk. I saw leaders in action when, for example, one day we were having an IG inspection. It's a huge inspection. You always want to pass it. It's massive. It's the whole base. And we were working such long hours, and the warrant officer came out and encouraged us to continue. But he got more out of us that night than before because he took off his uniform, put on his utilities, and got to work, got dirty. And I learned so much about leadership there. And then, I'm a small woman. But when you have rank, then you move in that authority. But with that authority comes responsibility. And you have to take care of your troops. So you just learn so much. And it's not just the Marine Corps, it's all of our services. My husband and I were both Marines, and when we saw the pullout from Afghanistan, no rhyme, no reason, and you just say to yourselves, who's in charge? Where is our commander-in-chief? Because that would be President Biden. And he took no responsibility for any of it. That's not what a leader does. A leader acknowledges that they made a mistake. You can follow someone like that because you know they've got your back. You know that they've learned from the mistake, and they're going to try their very best to make sure it doesn't happen again. You're putting your life on the line. You're giving your all to the country, and you expect that it won't be taken lightly. Your life, your sacrifice, the sacrifice that your family back home is making, so that you don't have to come back in a box because of somebody making a mistake, making a political decision, making a decision to fulfill a promise where there was no effort in it. The men and women who fought these wars say to themselves, to what end did I fight? For what purpose? They're using our equipment against us. They're using our technology against us. They're walking in our boots, in our uniforms. And what does our commander-in-chief say? That it's somebody else's fault. You gotta have the people who have put their lives on the line for the country. You've gotta care about them. And we did not see that. And even though we're not in the Marine Corps anymore, in the military anymore, you always feel that. You just know the service that you've given, that your family has given as well. And you want them to care because, remember, we always think about Vietnam. I was not during the Vietnam era, but you always think about how the men and women were treated when they came back from Vietnam. They were spat on. There was no respect for their lives, the limbs that they gave. You saw someone's head blown off. You saw bodies blown to bits in front of you. We used to call that in my grandfather's day shell shock, and we didn't understand it, but we do now. And the fact that we're still suffering from Agent Orange issues, the fact that we have water issues now that we found in Camp Lejeune, where the babies have been born possibly with birth defects because of that. You want to be taken care of because you want to take care of the country yourself. That's why you join. That's why you serve.
Winsome Sears, the new Lieutenant Governor-elect of the state of Virginia, she and her husband are both Marine vets, always faithful. And the point she's making, it's malfeasance that any of our vets are not provided for. There's an article out of Time magazine that the number of calls into suicide lines for vets continues to increase. And on this Veterans Day, I'm not looking to place blame, but many of those calls, and this is acknowledged by the Biden administration, many of those calls have been prompted by what happened in Afghanistan. As the lieutenant governor just said, all the work, all the sacrifice, the loss of life, the loss of limbs, and this president simply hands it all over to the enemy. So, veterans, I salute you, and I would encourage our government we have a government, we have a president right now that is proposing to hand $450,000 to illegals who cross the border illegally because they might have gotten separated from a son or a daughter or a family member. Well, first of all, how are you going to prove that? Secondly, why is it just when that happened under the Trump administration? Why isn't the Biden administration going to look at the Obama administration when they were the ones that were caging up kids? But set that aside. Why are we giving anything to anybody that is not an American citizen until we first make sure that our vets are provided for? By the way, the best line of the day, and now you know why Winsome Sears won that race. She managed to say, without jabbing the president too hard, lines like, if you think you're a leader but nobody's following you, then you're just taking a walk. Joe, she's talking about you, buddy. Anyway, happy Veterans Day. We salute our vets, and we'll play political trivia in a little bit, and your category today is Veterans Day. So now we have members of the North Carolina judicial branch as well as the executive branch taking over the duties that are left exclusively in our Constitution for the legislative branch. What am I talking about? Well, one of the stories we talked about yesterday, as Josh Stein, the Attorney General, is handing out goodies from this slush fund. I mean, it wasn't intended to be a slush fund, but it has ended up being a slush fund for the Attorney General. Again, back in July of 2000, when then Attorney General Mike Easley reached an agreement with the hog giant Smithfield Foods and its subsidiaries, I should say. Among the agreement's details was a commitment to provide up to $2 million a year for 25 years for environmental enhancement activities. And our Supreme Court has ruled that those kind of disbursements come through the legislature. And, Benny was asking some great questions yesterday. How do you even set up how does Josh Stein even set up a bank account? How does he get an ID number to set up in a bank account? And who's writing the checks? Who's signing the checks? The Josh Stein can hand out, as he did earlier this week down in New Bern, handing out money hand over fist. Well, now, today, so that was the executive branch. Today, we have the retired Union County judge, Superior Court Judge David Lee, who's retired, county judge. He is leapfrogging the Republican-led North Carolina General Assembly and ordering a $1.7 billion transfer from the state coffers to fund public education. Again, this is the Leandro case. This case, again, goes back to the 1990s. The judge said this court for 17 years has granted every reasonable deference to the legislative and the executive branches of government to put together a plan. This simply has not occurred for whatever reason. The court's deference is at an end at this point. Well, first of all, Judge David Lee, you have seen incredible increases going towards education since the Republicans have taken over the legislature. And frankly, you would have seen even more had our governor actually signed the budgets that were put before him instead of vetoing it. How many raises did teachers not get because this governor would not sign any of the budgets? Why? Because the Republicans proposed them. If this case has devolved into an attempt by politically allied lawyers and the governor to enact the governor's preferred budget plan via court order, cutting out the legislature from its proper and constitutional roles, said Senate Leader Phil Berger of Rockingham and House Speaker Tim Moore of Cleveland County in a joint prepared statement. They go on to say, if Judge Lee's orders are followed, the legislature's core duty is usurped by an unelected county-level trial judge and an out-of-state consultancy funded by the governor and his political allies. Thankfully, executive branch officials swear an oath to the Constitution, not to an unelected county-level trial judge, the legislative leaders added. A judge does not have the legal or constitutional authority to order a withdrawal from the state's general fund. Now, when this judge gave this order, it was also accompanied by a 30-day stay, in which time the legislature will definitely appeal this ruling. But here's my question, and again, I'm not an attorney. Maybe there's one out there listening who can answer this question for me. If this guy doesn't have the authority to do this, then why are they just ignoring it? Why do the taxpayers have to pay to hire an attorney? Because first of all, you can't go to Josh Stein because Josh Stein is on the governor's side on this. He's not gonna do what his job calls him to do. So the taxpayers are going to have to find an additional attorney to go handle this case to appeal this ruling by this judge that doesn't have the authority to make the ruling. So if he doesn't have the authority, then why are we even bothering? Why don't we just ignore it? I realize, okay, maybe I'm being overly simplistic. Berger and Moore concluded this is a circus. The only rebuttal to this clear precedent is an absurd theory developed by Josh Stein, which argues that the Constitution back in 1868 ordered a specific funding level for the education budget in the year 2021, and that only an out-of-state consultancy called West End can divine the precise funding level that the 1868 Constitution ordered. By the way, this organization I think they're out of San Francisco. I think they're going to get something like $2 million is their cut of this deal. Meanwhile, the original jurist overseeing the Leandro case, retired Wake County Judge Howard Manning, released a memo on Tuesday questioning Judge Lee's ability to force another branch of government to carry out his order. Quote, reduced to essentials, in my opinion, the children are not being provided the opportunity because after all the millions spent, 90% of school costs are for adult salaries and benefits, and the data shows, as it did years ago, and up to now, the educational establishment has not produced results, Manning wrote. Stein, a Democrat, stepped into the fray on this past Monday, issuing a memo to Lee suggesting the judge could legally bypass lawmakers and order the $1.7 billion transfer from the Treasury. Again, you talk about malfeasance. This guy is doing the opposite of what he is supposed to do. He did it back last year when he usurped the legislature when it came to state election law. And now he's doing it again. The very people he ought to be defending, he's working against. This is unbelievable. I mean, and again, I don't want to use the word anarchy frivolously, But when you begin to ignore the rule of law, it's anarchy. It's a dictatorship. I mean, our way of life, our rule of law only works if we recognize that our constitutions, our state constitution and our federal constitution, that is our law. It is not an individual. It's not the president. It's not the governor. It's not the attorney general. It's the Constitution. That's how we are to run our governments. And as Berger and Moore said, fortunately, we've got a legislature that will follow the Constitution. They took a vow to the Constitution and the following the Constitution. Our governor, this judge, and Josh Stein, not so much. Unbelievable. Hey, we're going to take a time out. Lots more to talk about on this Veterans Day, and we'll play political trivia in just a little bit. Stay with us. More coming up.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you'll ever eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Pasalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also. From the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Hi, I'm Richard Langley, and after helping my grandmother with an iPad she received as a gift, I realized how many other older adults may also have challenges with their own technology.
Happy Grandma specializes in helping with any tech issue you may be experiencing. Whether it's setting up a new computer or TV, having issues with the printer or Wi-Fi, or showing you how to use your tech, we want to help you. To make it easier, we come directly to you with a smile on our face.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough, get happy.
Happy Grandma Senior Tech Support.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast, Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina, Southern Living's best small town.
Make Veterans Day more than just a thank you. Honoring our veterans for their sacrifice and selflessness. The land of the free, because of the brave. We thank you. Happy Veterans Day from Tom, Benny, and producer Clark. Now, back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. It is November 11th, 2021. I just lost a whole year there. I think I was just, I want to get to the midterms.
Come on, man.
I know. Well, Joe, your time is up. 100 years ago today, in 1921, President Warren Harding dedicated the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. 103 years ago, 1918, World War I ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. General Irwin Parkleton called it the war to end all wars. Of course, today is Veteran Day. Your weather forecast, a chance of showers tonight, a low around 62. Chance of rain tonight, 80%. Tomorrow morning, showers likely. They'll dissipate as the late morning gets here. Chance of rain in the morning is about 60%. Tomorrow's high is 73. Tomorrow night, clear around 48 for the low. Saturday's high will be 69. Then Saturday night, some colder weather comes in. Saturday night, the low gets down to 37. Sunday's high is only 58. Sunday night, mostly clear with low around 39. Can you believe it's 14 days to Thanksgiving? I hate to shock you all, but I mean, we're 2 weeks away from the holidays. I mean, really, the holidays start basically, you get the outside lights up and that kind of stuff. 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. Get ready for it. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club, voted best golf course in Greenville 2 years in a row. They boast an 18-hole Lee Trevino design course, full-service dining and outdoor pool, tennis, and more. Come see the newly renovated 15,000-square-foot clubhouse, the perfect place to make new traditions with your family. And for a limited time, you can join Ironwood and pay zero initiation fee. Listen, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, stop by the Pro Shop. People are saying, hey, we can't find stuff to give. I mean, first of all, the shelves are empty. Well, here's a gift. We guarantee you will be there when you go to buy it, and that is gift certificates at Ironwood for rounds of golf or golf lessons with John LaMonica, one of the best pros in Eastern North Carolina. Stop by or give him a call, 752-4653, 252-752-4653. Be a part of the best Ironwood Golf and Country Club. A federal appeals court today temporarily blocked the National Archives from releasing White House records to the House January 6th Select Committee after attorneys for former President Donald Trump filed an emergency motion. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit granted the stay that Trump's lawyers requested while they appeal a lower court ruling that the former president cannot keep such documents secret by claiming executive privilege. It is ordered that an administrative injunction be entered and appellees, the National Archives and Records Administration, and the archivist be enjoined, in other words, you can't do this, from releasing records requested by the House Select Committee over which appellant asserts executive privilege pending further order of this court. This is really, I think, rather interesting how this select committee, and by the way, it is very much a select committee. If you go back and remember, it was Queen Nancy who decided who could serve and who couldn't serve. Not an equitable committee, a select committee selected by Queen Nancy herself. What's interesting, though, is this January 6th commission is all about the infiltration of the U.S. Capitol by American citizens who strongly felt that there were certain people in high places that were usurping the will of the citizens. And I think that's pretty much how it happened. Perhaps it happened by fraud in the last general election, but most assuredly by promoting a false narrative accusing Trump and his administration of colluding with the Russians. And it's becoming more and more evident that there was collusion, but it wasn't by Donald Trump, it was by the Clinton campaign. And individuals knew then, such as Adam Schiff and others, knew that they were lying about it, and those involved in it were lying, trying to cover their butts. To them, people like Peter Strzok, to them, the ends justified the means. The Steele dossier alleged that Trump colluded with the Russians to win the 2016 election, claimed that the Kremlin had blackmail material on the former president. The dossier was central to the Democrats' attempt to tie Trump to the Russians, attempts to influence the election. Several Democrats, including House Intelligence Committee Adam Schiff, consistently promoted the infamous dossier. Schiff avidly defended the document. By the way, he was on The View this week, and he continued to try to defend the document and what he did and what others did and said. Unilateral subpoenas issued by the House Intel majority appear to be part of an effort to discredit Steele rather than determine the truth of the dossier, Schiff tweeted back in 2017. Another boisterous voice publicized and debunked the dossier was Ted Lieu of California, who promoted the bad intelligence on social media up through this year. Lieu claimed in 2019, over time, more and more parts of the dossier have been corroborated, something that's not happened with the debunked dossier. Well, here in recent weeks and months, with the John Durham report coming out, obviously the dossier was total fiction. Mr. Durham, in the least, should question Clinton, Obama, and Biden about what they knew and when they knew it. That from Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. And he's right. I mean, the more we find out about this, the higher up the ladder it's taking us. It's also now been affirmed, according to two well-placed sources, and we found this out earlier this week, that Jake Sullivan, President Biden's White House National Security Advisor, is the foreign policy advisor referred to in this indictment of former Hillary Clinton presidential campaign lawyer Michael Sussman. In addition to that, Special Counsel John Durham's investigation has revealed deep ties between a Russian national, Igor Danchenko, who contributed to the Steele dossier, and longtime associate of the Clintons, Chuck Dolan. Dolan's ties to the Clinton family go back decades. He was a state chair for Clinton's 92 and 96 presidential campaigns. Clinton then appointed him to serve on an advisory commission in the State Department. Years later, he was an advisory for Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign and actively campaigned in Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. So here's my question. Why is the January 6th Commission not investigating the underlying cause for why people protested on January 6th? Now, the vast majority of the people who weren't part of the FBI or weren't part of Antifa, the vast majority simply went in to the Capitol, didn't do any destruction. Now, some did, and they should be held accountable, but most did not. Nonetheless, you have to ask yourself the question, when as we find out more and more how this president was robbed of his ability to have an administration that was not constantly being attacked and was being attacked with agencies of our government, the FBI at top of the list. Why is the January 6th Select Committee, why aren't they investigating the people that incited the riot? If you want to call it a riot, who incited the riot? And I would maintain these people right here in the Clinton administration that are now being found guilty, they're the ones that caused it. Did they force the people to go in there? No. But you know what? You rile, you stir the pot, you keep poking it, you keep poking at it, people react. Is it not interesting that Antifa and BLM riots in 2020 and the burning of cities, the action of those rioters is justified? Why? Because fentanyl Floyd, one man taking the life of George Floyd. Here we have multiple individuals at the highest level of our government abusing power, literally they tried to conduct a coup on Donald Trump and the Trump administration and our government. And the indignation of the protesters on January 6th is not given any hint of justification. So the people that rioted, they were justified because of what happened to George Floyd. That's fine. They can riot, they can burn, because of George Floyd. But the people that were totally irritated about what happened to Donald Trump, and listen, I'm not trying to necessarily justify those that went in and caused damage, but if you're going to justify the rioters, can we consider justifying those people that were so irritated at what happened to Donald Trump? And again, we're finding out every day, it's a whole lot clearer that Donald Trump got the raw end of the deal. Hey, let's play political trivia, shall we? Let's lighten things up a little bit. 561-8255 is the number. Give us a call. Political trivia, your category, Veterans Day. Got a good prize package. 561-8255, political trivia when we get back.
Break the chain. Eat local. Tiebreakers.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
All right, welcome back. It is Political Trivia, 561-8255. Got a line or two open. Give us a call, 561-8255. Of course, area code's 252. Your category today, Veterans Day, naturally. Your prize package includes a free oil change for your car or pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A gift certificate from Fit for Life 24, including 2 free training sessions with a fitness coach. A $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food. A $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Aden. Delicious baked fresh, made from scratch goodies. A gift card from University PC Care. And a gift certificate to the Ironwood Country Club. Remember, if you or anyone in your immediate family has won recently, let 60 days pass before you play again. 561-8255. Let's go to the lines. We have Thomas on the line. Hey, Thomas.
Good afternoon.
You ready to play?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here you go. Veterans Day is your category. Here's your question.
All right.
Today we celebrate Veterans Day, originally called Armistice Day, celebrating the end of World War I back in 1918. Now, between the years of 1968 and 1978, the celebration of Veterans Day had a much different feel to it. Why? What was different about Veterans Day during those years?
Let's see. Did they not celebrate it during October. Fourth month in October.
Say that again?
They celebrate it maybe during October, like I think the fourth Monday.
You got it!
Oh.
You got it. Right out of the chute. Yeah. In 1968, Veterans Day was changed to the fourth Monday of October. The idea was to create another 3-day weekend. In 78, it was reverted back to the original Armistice Day, the 11th day of the 11th month, the 11th hour. Congratulations, Thomas.
Thank you.
Hang on the line, and Clark's going to get your info. And sorry for those on hold. Thomas beat you to the punch. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Value has never been hotter. Get to Greenville Toyota now. We'll pay more for your trade than ever before. Get cash on the spot, even if you don't buy from us. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
This is your Drive at 5 and ENC with Tom Lamprecht. Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Congratulations, Thomas Mazzell. He knew it. Back in 1968, Veterans Day was switched over to October, fourth Monday of October, and it was switched back to November 11th on 1978, November 11th, 1978. This is definitely one of those holidays, like Christmas. You know, there's certain holidays you can't move to a 3-day weekend. I mean, there's too much significance in Veterans Day. So we were talking yesterday how Nick Sandmann sued CNN and the Washington Post and ended up getting big bucks because they defamed the young man. CBS might have stepped in it earlier today. CBS News tweeted that Kyle Rittenhouse had told the jury during his trial that he had murdered 2 men. They put this out in a tweet, and there's screenshots of it. They removed the tweet after there was significant pushback, and but nonetheless, there are a number of people that have taken CBS to task. So Kyle Rittenhouse, at the end of the day, very well might find out that CBS has done him a favor. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how many lawyers line up to sue CBS on behalf of Kyle Rittenhouse. The voice for ESPN has just walked into the studios.
Hello, Tom.
Patrick Johnson. Come grab a microphone real quick here.
Sports show on right now, Tom.
Well, what, are you on a break? Grab a mic. Turn this. I don't know. Which mic is that? Can you turn it on there, Clark?
I'm going to come in here with you.
There he is. Yes.
I'm over the logo.
Yeah.
It's the magic of radio right now.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing Joe Dooley.
Oh, and
the magic of radio.
I mean, the Pirates pulled it out the other night. It was a little long.
Ugly, but a win.
Yeah, it was a win, so it wasn't too ugly. But I'm more curious. Patrick Johnson, of course, he's on our sister station, 94.3.
And starting Monday.
That's right. You're the new co-host for
Talk of the Town.
Yeah, replacing Trent McGee,
Yeah.
who has got a big promotion over at the Chamber of Commerce. So congratulations.
I wanted
to
that
Trent.
job because he told me about the
Oh,
cash.
it's the big bucks. Oh, listen, when you work for Henry,
No, I'm talking about what a Trent's job.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's going to believe the Henry story. I'm just curious, how was it doing ESPN the other night?
It was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I've done a little bit of that before, and as you know, I've done other telecasts and all that. So it was good. Cy Seymour made it a joy.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Cy's
Cy
been
did
working
the
with,
radio, was the radio analyst for ECU
for Jeff
basketball.
Charles for years.
For like almost a quarter century. And he wanted to get off the road.
I was actually at that game. I was sitting way behind you, not
right.
And saw
your
you
nose
guys
was
in the
bleeding
back.
a little bit.
A little bit. But my grandsons had a big time.
Did they have a good time?
Oh yeah. Well, listen, they won and they got to eat plenty of popcorn, so it was all good.
You think you're going to go tomorrow night, or probably not?
Maryland's playing tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
So
Terps are pretty good.
Well, they're ranked 21st, I think, in the nation. So we'll see. But I'll flip back and forth. I've got ESPN Plus, so
all right.
I'll have a chance to actually listen to you.
Oh, you will?
Air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then they play Sunday. ECU does as well.
Well,
so it's a huge weekend of Pirate athletics.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
Because then
big time.
Saturday, really big. I know Mike Houston didn't want to talk about what's going on with the bowl game, but you win, you are bowl eligible, so that's very big.
I would assume Memphis is favored in the.
They are by 5.5, 6 points.
Okay, that's fairly close.
Let me tell you what, Tom. You, John Moore, and the other students. I'm a nobody compared to you, veteran broadcasters. Some amazing stuff going on here tonight. Oh my!
Yeah, Patrick is just sort of wandering up and down the halls looking for something to do.
Yeah, more or less, yes, because of the magic of radio. Good to see you, Tom.
Yeah, good to see you, Patrick. Thanks for stopping in. There you go. Don't break the mics. So John Kerry, the U.S. climate envoy, was accused by online critics of brushing aside a question about reports of slave labor in China. Now, this is an unbelievable story. So he's over talking at the Summit Climate in Glasgow, Scotland. And by the way, how many weeks does this summit go on? This thing has been going on for at least 2 weeks now. So Kerry's over there. And yesterday, after he makes a speech or does something, who knows what he's doing over there, there's a Q&A time. He's holding a press conference. A reporter mentioned talking about, how he's working with China. I mean, that's a total joke. How John Kerry is working with China, trying to reduce the carbon. Do you think China gives a iota about what kind of pollution they're putting out? I don't think so. And if you go over and visit China, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. China and India, it is just smog city all over the place. Literally, you can cut it with a knife. But anyway, during the Q&A, he was asked about a contentious issue like the use of forced labor in China to build solar panels. Here it is.
How, in the several months of meetings behind the scenes with China, did you bring up some of those very contentious issues? Such as the use of forced labor in Xinjiang for building solar panels. How did you address it, and how did you kind of overcome that in reaching this final?
Well, we're honest. We're honest about the differences, and we certainly know what they are, and we've articulated them. But that's not my lane here. That's my job is to be the climate guy.
He said with a chuckle. This is unbelievable. So he didn't disagree that they were using slave labor, which they are, to build these solar panels. But in other words, he says, who cares if there are concentration camp-like conditions as long as I get my job done as the climate guy? Now, please note, these are the same people. John Kerry and his ilk are the same people who want to destroy the United States because over 150 years ago, we had slavery in this country. We had slavery. You know, this is almost like the attitude of those people who looked the other way in Nazi Germany. You know, they say that there are certain places in Nazi Germany that they knew what was happening to the Jews, but they just looked the other way. They just pretend it wasn't happening. You know, that's not in my lane. Slave labor, and his response is, that's not in my lane. My job is to be the climate guy. The Washington Post reported in August that the United States have blocked the imports of solar panels from at least 3 Chinese companies, reasonably indicating the use of forced labor. But that's not in his lane. But, you know, it's more than just working with the Chinese on the climate situation and the fact that they're using slave labor to build these solar panels. It gets a whole lot more dicier than that for John Kerry. He needs to answer for something else. Earlier this week, the Washington Free Beacon reported U.S. Customs and Border Protection last week seized imports from a Chinese company backed by an investment group in which John Kerry holds a, ready for this? A $1 million stake. Kerry and his wife are invested in Hill House China Value Fund. Part of the Hill House Investment Group is a top shareholder in a Chinese solar panel company that works with companies known to use forced labor. So, John, it is in your lane, buddy. But this is unbelievable. The hypocrisy of these liberals. Again, the means justify the ends. It doesn't matter. Or the ends justify the means. I had it right the first time. These hypocritical liberals. But boy, hey, something that happened in this country 150, 200 years ago, we still need to take America down. We need to take them down for that. We need to pay reparations for what happened 200 years ago. But John Kerry, when it comes to what is happening today with forced labor over in China, the Uyghurs are being forced to work in basically concentration-like conditions. Go over there and see if you can tour one of these places where the Uyghurs are forced to work. I don't think you're going to get a tour. Town Hall is reporting the National School Board Association actively engaged with the White House and other federal departments prior to sending its controversial letter to President Biden. New Freedom of Information requests by parents defending education reveal these actively engaged give and take. An October 12th memo details the timeline leading up to the letter that requested federal assistance to deal with parental threats against school boards, which the group argued could be equivalent to a form of domestic terrorism. You know, this is this you know, they act like, oh, this took us all by surprise. No. They were behind the scenes colluding together. They love that word, colluding. Well, let's use it against them. The National School Board, the Biden White House, and the Biden Justice Department were all colluding together to figure out how can we take out these parents. National School Board President Viola Garcia said the organization has been actively engaged with the White House, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Education, the Surgeon General, and other federal agencies prior to the September 29th letter. That letter prompted Merrick Garland to mobilize the FBI to work with federal, state, and local enforcement agencies to target parents engaging in what claimed to be threatening conduct. Unbelievable. We said we can get all these agencies together. We can get them all together to collude against parents, to go after the parents, but we can't keep our borders safe. By the way, a Virginia mom has been blocked from entering her son's public high school library weeks after she complained about books in the collection being pornographic, according to a new report from Fox News. Stacey Langton told the Washington Examiner Monday that the Fairfax principal, Maureen Keck, told her she was not allowed to enter the library anymore. One day after checking out a book with her son, Langdon said she got a call from Keck telling her that parents were not allowed in the library, that this was school policy. So I think she probably didn't vote for Youngkin. Do you think? Youngkin? I think she probably voted for the Democrat. Just saying, because Democrats don't think that parents should be involved in their children's education, right? Unbelievable. By the way, up in Vermont, it is now required by the Vermont legislature, signed by the governor. And by the way, this was done by Republicans. It is required that schools disseminate condoms for students in the 7th to 12th grade. It's required. Unbelievable. Hey, thanks for being with us. Our congratulations again to Thomas Mazzell, our political trivia winner. We'll do it again tomorrow at 5. See you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, all right, all right.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?